Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dennis with Grass Monkey Lawn Care here, coming at you with another video tonight. Tonight I want to talk about doing commercial accounts versus residential accounts. What is your niche in the business? What is your specialty in the business? Where do you want to concentrate your efforts? And how do you want to mix your ratio between the two of those? The reason I'm making this video is because people are starting to make phone calls for next season wanting to get estimates. And people I'm talking about are places like HOAs, apartment complexes, small commercial, large commercial accounts, stuff like that. And I'm beginning to realize that the bigger the commercial property you get into, things can become very complicated very quickly. And why do I say that? Well, today I went and did an estimate on a 5.2 acre apartment complex. It's got, 32 buildings. The 5.2 acres is mowing acres. That's not the size of the apartment complex itself. That's all the mowing itself. Total square feet is somewhere around 221,000 square feet of mowing. So this is my first ever apartment complex of this size calling me to want to get an estimate from me. There's a lot that goes into this, guys, because they don't just want lawn mowing. They have landscape needs. They have shrub needs. They have fertilization and weed control needs. And then they want to also have some landscape design work done for next season for a couple of their flower beds by the office, the entrance. So I'm debating on whether or not to go forward with this estimate or not. Am I equipped, first of all? Am I set up, with me going into the weed control and fertilization for next year to handle a property of this size? I'm not sure about that. After doing the calculations just for the weed control and fertilization part of this, guys, you would have to have about a 500-gallon tank to even come close to getting this thing covered. I mean, 5.2 acres. I'm looking at buying like a 100-gallon spraying rig. I'm going to have to go back home and fill that thing up multiple times just to spray this whole property. Because when I asked them, they said, yes, we spray everything on it. I'll just give you guys a quick view of this. I have it pulled up on a map. This is it. So it starts here and goes all the way over to here. All that right there, guys. It's huge. It's massive. All the way down here, they got a couple pools, flower beds all through here, shrubs around every building. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that well or not. But that's the size of it, guys. The largest property I have is probably about 3.5 acres, and it's mostly all open mowing. There's no buildings really on it, and it's out of my HOA. So, you got to decide before you start obligating yourself and turning in estimates. Are you equipped to do it? Can you handle it? What's it look like next season for manpower? And do you want to take something on like this? Because I'm thinking that there alone is going to take about 7 hours to do. The reason why I come up with that number is the mowing should go pretty quickly. I would say, 3.5 hours of mowing, and then you're going to have another 3 hours of weed eating and edging, because you have to edge every single sidewalk. You have to weed eat around every single building, every single fence that's on the outside of it. And then you have to blow off everything. That means all the doorways on each building. I mean, there's a lot to it. There's a lot that goes into it. I don't know if you guys out there are currently handling something like that, where it's an apartment complex that large. I'd love to hear from you if you are, how you're handling it, how you do your estimates on it. But, something like that, I mean, it's different. I mean, either you take it on and you learn how to, either bid it correctly, or if you bid it incorrectly, you're really going to be pissed off at yourself, because look at all that work you got to do. And then if you underbid it, you're going to be pissed off every time you go out there. And a property this size, I really don't think you want to be mad, and irritated every time you will show up to it, because that's not going to make for a good season next year. So I'm teetering on whether to do it or not, turn it in or not. Is there a lot of money to be made on this? Yeah, there's a ton of money to be made. But something I've been kind of weighing too is, you get people with these apartment complexes, HOAs are the same way. They're not real loyal to you. You could have them 1 year and then they would just find someone else the next year for cheaper, So that kind of comes into play too, loyalty to the, my company, or, are they going to stay loyal or not? I would put more towards a not than they are, that they would, stay on for multiple years. Places like this just usually like to get the cheapest deal they can get, or a company that's kind of cheaper and does a good job. I don't know if that's this place or not. Like when I spoke to them, they wanted someone that would be more, responsible for any damage that occurred on the property, because I guess they're losing a lot of sprinkler heads, a lot of issues with running out their property, just mowing, wet whenever they need to, and just kind of tearing it up. So I know they're looking for more quality, but are they willing to pay for it is the question. The other part of this too is, there's a lot of things that could happen on a property like this. There's a lot of vehicles. There's a lot of people around. There's those pools. There's a lot of things you got to watch out for, guys. A lot of risk in a property like this. A lot of things can go wrong, breaking windows, something happened with a vehicle, someone, walking by. There's just many factors into this. You can't just go into it and say, man, I look at that money I can make and just, yeah, let's do it. You got to think more about it than that. There's all those other obstacles out there you got to think about. The probability of maybe, something like this size here, employee getting hurt on some property this size. What are the dangers of that? Because you don't want to have that happen either. There's a big major road up front too. It's got a lot of traffic. It's one of the busiest roads in my town that I live in. So when you're out there working too, there's another possibility of something happening out there. So there's a lot of dangers involved with a property like this. So, it's a lot on my mind. I just don't know if it fits my niche though. I don't know if I want to go into large commercial like that. My Best Buy account right now is kind of pushing my limits as far as, because they have a property facility maintenance company that handles their account. And that guy's always emailing me about stuff. And it's just like, dude, like I got stuff to do. Like I can't be at your beck and call. Like you got to understand, which they're starting to realize. They would say I wasn't like super firm with them, but I kind of responded back in a way that made them understand, like, I took this on as a favor to you guys last minute at the end of the season, so you got to give me a little bit of room here. Like just back off for a little bit. Let me get the place cleaned up, because it was in horrible shape when I picked it up. So let me get it cleaned up. Let me get it back into shape. And then, I'm trying to tell them the things it needs, but they're kind of like, it's weird how you have to work with a company like that. So, if you guys are out there looking at stuff like that, these are some of the things I'm thinking about. I just want to make a video and share them with you as far as, some of the pros, and the cons of it. The pros being, there's a lot of money to be made. You're going to be seen on a property like that where you can maybe gain more if that's what you want to do in the direction you want to go in with your business. You can put that on your resume, like, yeah, we take care of this apartment complex, we take care of this commercial property, we take care of this large commercial property, if that's what you want to do. But I'm not sure if that's where I want to go. If I do turn in a bid, I bet it's going to be on the higher side on this, just to see, if they take it or not. But, if I do, it might be a possibility of something like this. I might sub out the weed control fertilization on it, because there's no way I can be equipped for a property that size, With me going to my first year of business with the weed and fertilization part of it, I'm not going to have a rig that big, guys. Like I said, I'm looking for a skid that's about 100 gallons, maybe 200 gallons. Something that can do, medium, small residential and large residential, like 10,000 square feet lawns down below. That's kind of where I'm wanting to go with that on that side of it. Am I wanting to get into spraying 5 acres? Not really. Not my first year or two, at least. Let me get some time underneath my belt, get some experience with that side of the business, and then let's blow it up. Let's go get a 500-gallon, tank and put it on a flatbed or another pickup, something like that. Would I like to take it on? Yeah, because the money part of it. But money's not everything. I'm not going to jump into something and sink and then put a bad rep on my business either, because I said I could do something I couldn't do it. So just thought I'd throw this video out there for you. Just something that came up to me as far as what's going on with me, what happened today in my business, and kind of the stuff that I'm getting calls on, which is nice, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice. I'm getting recognized by some of these larger places. They're getting online, looking at my reviews, they're seeing who I am, and they're starting to call me, which that feels good for me anyways. That the work I'm putting in, people are starting to notice, like in a scale of that size. But usually in our town, stuff like this, those really large companies get this stuff because they got the equipment, as far as like the spraying rigs and the, on something like this, they would send probably, a truck, 2 trucks with like 6 mowers, like 8 guys out here and knock it out real fast and be done. That's kind of how they do it in my town anyways. The larger companies, about like the big 4 here in town that are just massive super companies that usually do a lot of the HOAs, a lot of the apartment complexes. So we'll see what happens, guys. I'm going to put it on the 50-50 that I even bid it. I'm still really thinking about it, but you guys give me your thoughts if you've done it or if you're doing it. How'd you bid it? How'd you go about it? Or have you had something like this come up and you've just said, no, we're not doing that type of work? So I think I'm going to try and shift into small commercial and residential only, at least for next season. I want to concentrate in one area. I don't want to get too many commercial accounts either, because they're net 30, net 45. So you're waiting and waiting for money, and I don't want that either. So that's my video, guys. Feel free to leave the comments. Like I said, I'd really like to hear back from you all on this. What's your thoughts on it? What would you do? How would you handle this as far as bidding it or not bidding it, and so on? Or if you have experiences, please feel free to share with everybody out there. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching as always. Hit the thumbs up if you liked the video. And there's a couple new subscribers that have shot in this the last day or two. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Other than that, guys, you all have a great night and a great evening, and stay safe, and good night.